Hey, before this video starts, I just want to let you guys know what this is. If you already watched one of these before, this will probably sound redundant, but I got to explain it just in case this is somebody's first time. I'm a YouTuber, Manga Cage, who covers all of Shonen Jump, every series within it, every single week, every chapter. Haven't missed a week since I started. So thanks to a helpful comment suggestion I got, I decided why not compile all of the chapter reviews of one series into one single video, just for ease of viewing and for me and maybe you to just reflect on the past, see the journey that this channel and the whole discussion of any given series went. My goal is to do this with every series I've covered from, start to finish, and maybe even some that I just finished, like the last arc or whatever. I don't know. Let me know what you think of that idea. We'll see how that goes. I haven't decided on anything yet, but at least full complete series I would like to do this for. And this time we are doing Ekiden Bros. This is the series that debuted on the very first Shonen Jump video I uploaded on this channel. All the way back June 30th of 2025 for Weekly Shonen Jump 2025 issue number 31. This is it. This was the first time, so you'll see a very clear evolution of my style as I go on reviewing this one in particular. This is literally the best one I could possibly do because it is the first new series I covered, and the first series I covered period, because it was at the top of the magazine because it was brand new. So this is the first chapter of manga I discussed on this channel, all the way to the final chapter. And this is an axed series, by the way. If you don't know, this is about running. Normally I have something on this table beside me, but what the hell am I gonna put here? I don't have Ekiden Bros merch. I don't have like track merch. I could put a pair of shoes on here, I guess. So you're about to see me from June of 2025 to discuss this, and then I will catch up with you guys again at the end of this video to do a little post-mortem on the series, just to give my thoughts on it however many months after I recorded the last one. So enjoy the compilation, and I will see you guys again at the end. Bruh. So this week we got Weekly Shonen Jump issue 31 for 2025, and of course kicking things off with a new series. So I'm gonna dive into it real quick and let's see what it's all about. So this is a series called Ekiden Bros, which of course got the cover page this week. It's a typical like new series cover. There's not going to be much to talk about with it, unfortunately. It's a new series. Of course it's going to be on the cover. And we have another new series coming up next week, so it'll be the same kind of deal again, unfortunately. I definitely prefer seeing long-running series on the cover, but what can you do? They have to push the new series somehow, which is about running, long distance running to be precise. I guess like cross country type of deal. I don't know about running. By a rookie mangaka Daiki No, who's only done one-shots in the past. I assume they ran in Jump. We don't get the one-shots usually published over here, so I don't get to read them often. But whatever he did before must have stood out enough for him to get his own series. And what we have is another sports series, which Jump is really, really trying to get in the magazine right now as a steady series. And this has charm. It's cute. I like the premise. So we basically have this guy named Nobunaga. He's a kid, first year in high school, classic Shonen Jump protagonist age. He's living with a bunch of college students who all run the Ekiden Marathon. And this is something that he is now striving to run in. This is his goal. He wants to run with them in the Ekiden Marathon, which is like this super insane thing. They were talking like, they were looking at the route of the Ekiden Marathon, and it's like, oh wow, the first goal would take you 5 hours to walk there or whatever. We'd have to drive. And Nobunaga's like, oh no, the guys in my dorm, they can just run there in an hour. So that's, impressive. It's cool. It's definitely a good way to set up just a tangible goal right off the bat. Nobunaga himself is a pretty typical sports series protagonist. Happy-go-lucky, putting his friends before himself. And he is striving for a goal that is well beyond what he's at now. This is all classic stuff. It's to put that goalpost so far down, so it gives us this whole series to work towards it. And of course, his first step in that journey is to prove a bully wrong, who is like making fun of Nobunaga's living situation, the people he lives with, saying like they can't run, all that, whatever, they're nothing special. So he like runs on their behalf and in a race against him to see if he can place higher than him. And he does. That's cool. Nice little moment. And then he's like, I love running, classic, it's literally the typical sports series setup. But, it's endearing, it's cute. The art is really interesting. I don't often see art like this. It's really unusual. The proportions are kind of whack. The faces are really expressive, which is cool, but they're also like big. Like the heads are kind of big and the bodies are, they're weird. But for a running series, I feel like this will work in the long term. Like there's a specific example I'm probably showing it on screen right now where it's like the clothing is like, it's almost like turning to liquid as he's running. It's really interesting. There's definitely some promise here. You know, it's far too early to say if this will be anything successful or good. As far as first chapters go, I think it was pretty solid, and yeah, we'll see how it goes from here. Good start though. Bruh. Agustin Bros chapter 2, Bro Returns. Excellent title. Okay. I'm tuned out of this series already. I gotta be real. I don't see this lasting. I can see what it's doing on chapter 2 already. This is a series that is really going to be trying to make itself sound more interesting than it is. And they spell it out immediately, almost immediately. There's a very funny line that I have to point out. Long distance running is fundamentally disconnected from all the tropes you see in sports manga. Right. And then we spend the rest of this chapter doing very typical, tropey sports manga activities. Like word for word, repeating lines that like every sports series says, like, I want to win, I have to win, I can't lose, I don't want to lose. Losing feels bad, winning feels good. No. This series is not going to be it. I hate to insult it right out the gate, but I'm not feeling it right now. I gotta call this kind of stuff out when I see it. And I'm definitely seeing it. I'm seeing the early signs of a series that is trying too hard to be something that it's not. It is a sports series. I don't know why I just didn't embrace it. Like, just do the sports series thing and don't try to be like, oh, I'm different though. Look, I'm different, guys. You're not. You're just not. It's not different at all. There's nothing in this chapter. Like, they say all these points like, oh, you know, long distance running, you can't exactly improve. Like, you'll hit a brick wall. Okay. They say this kind of stuff in other sports series all the time. Nothing that was said in this chapter is unique to long distance running, especially in a manga context. I promise you. So, yeah, I just spent this whole chapter being annoyed. I did not like its attitude. Not very hopeful for the future of this one anymore. It wasn't even exactly last week, but this feels like it's digging itself an early grave, to me at least. Bruh. Agustin Bros chapter 3, he called me a toothpick. All right, I'm about to say the least controversial thing you'll ever hear in your life. This series is ass. I don't like it. I think this is definitely our next 18 chapter flop. So let's just bear with it for 18 weeks and then we can never think about it again. This is dreadful. I hate the attitude of this series so much. I don't like that we had a time skip already. I didn't talk about that last week. This happened last chapter, but I didn't even mention the time skip because I was so hung up on that very funny line. And, you know, something I was just thinking about, because, you know, whenever you read this on the Shonen Jump app, you see like the big banner at the top. And obviously it's the page, like the color page, the cover of Jump that this series debuted on. And that character design is already gone of the main character. The one I used in the thumbnail for the first week. That's not even what the guy looks like anymore. Like, vaguely, it looks like him to some degree, but he's older now. It's not the same design. I don't like this series. That's not a complaint necessarily, it's just like an observation, but everything I think about this series is negative. I don't have anything positive to say about it anymore. The first chapter I had some optimism, but nope, it's all gone. This series sucks. I actually don't like anything about it. It's almost like, it feels almost insulting to other sports series creators, which that's a harder opinion for me to like put into words because I don't even fully understand why I feel that way as of this moment, but this series just feels insulting. Bruh. Agustin Bros chapter 4, the Odani University track and field team. So here it is, your classic sports series team introduction chapter. I don't know. I'm still not enjoying the series. It's just super bland. The art is like interesting. That's the one positive thing that well, it's not even precisely positive, I suppose. It's a thing. Like, it looks interesting. I've never really seen art quite like this in Shonen Jump, at least. So there's that, but nothing else about it is engaging to me. I don't like these characters at all so far. The way the running is portrayed, like we just saw our first like race, and it wasn't fun to look at. Like, there's nothing interesting happening on screen. They're literally just running. And I feel the decision to make a story about running into a manga has to be like, if you're gonna do that, it's a very intentional choice. You have to have some kind of intent to make the running look visually appealing, but it doesn't. It just looks like running, like just normal real world running. It just looks like they're jogging, kind of. It's not even like dynamic running. So yeah, I don't know. This series is gonna be a flop, I'm sure. It's just not hitting at all. I don't really look at a whole lot of conversation online about Jump, except for the YouTube comments here. So I don't know what the general consensus is on this, but I can't imagine people are feeling this either. There's just nothing to it. There's nothing to latch onto. Yeah, whatever. Another chapter. Bruh. Agustin Bros, chapter 5, the guy with an insanely high ceiling. Good God, this series is boring, man. I just don't. I'm not having fun with this in any capacity. There's nothing to latch onto. The art is weird. It's not bad, it's just weird. And the way the running is portrayed, it's just not visually interesting. Things they're talking about, like these running methods and running tactics, this is gonna dry up so fast. I just don't care. Like, I don't see how this can be a series. If anything, this can just be a short story. Like, if this actually just lasts, you know, the 18 chapters, which I'm really sure this is not going to last beyond 18 chapters. That's like a perfect length for this. Like, what's like, what else can you do? That should just be the whole story. It should have been planned to be 18 chapters. I don't know. It's super, super uninteresting and boring to look at. What can I say? I don't know. This series is doing absolutely nothing for me. Bruh. Okay, bros, chapter 6. Let's move in. All right. One thing I will give this series credit on, and obviously I'm very high on the series, is that, you know, it's college. I do appreciate the fact that we are in a college setting. It's refreshing. It's nice. I like it. However, I think to the general audience that reads this magazine in its home country of Japan, that's not going to be a positive thing. They probably don't want to read about college life. And I think it's going to make this series fail. I could be wrong. But either way, I think the series will fail for other reasons. So it doesn't really matter ultimately. But it's a bold choice. You don't really see Shonen do college very often. I can't even think of the last time we've had a college setting. I mean, Blue Box technically now, half of it is because of Chinatsu, but that doesn't really count. You know, have we even seen her in college yet? Whatever, this isn't Blue Box. Yeah, I don't know, it was a fine chapter. I actually kind of like the manager girl. I thought that was funny, the Gyaru manager. It's always a female manager. It's every sports series, whatever, you know. But the moment where she's just like showing them around and just keeps like barging in on people and just saying, oh, sorry. I thought that was funny. It was a funny little moment, kind of endearing. Yeah, I don't know. It was an okay chapter. I think this is probably the best one yet, even though there was like little to no running in it, a little bit at the end, but that's it. Maybe that's why it was so good, because the running looks like shit in this series. Bruh. Ekiden Bros, chapter 7, starting line. One of those ones where the title isn't revealed till the end. Guys, this series has the weirdest pacing I've ever seen. Starting line, chapter 7. I feel like we've had the starting line. I know this hasn't literally been the title, but I feel like almost every chapter has been the starting line. Like, every chapter it's like, my story begins now. Everything changes now. This has happened now. It's just over and over. Well, what a weird ass series. Seriously, I don't know what this is trying to do. I just I can't wrap my head around it. This is a really, really peculiar series. It's kind of like watching a train wreck. Like I guess this isn't the worst thing ever, but I it's not good either. I don't know. I don't know. Weird series. That's about all I can muster. It's so damn weird. Bruh. Ekiden Bros Chapter 8, The Tiger of Odani. Fellow Ekiden Bros, haters, do not worry about this placement in the TOC. It's like halfway through the TOC. That's like it's a very middling placement. This, typically, for a new series, first placements, I feel like, historically, this is the kind of placement you give a series where you don't know. Like, is it a flop? Is it a hit? I don't know. They don't know either. They're just riding it out, probably waiting for volume sales for whenever the first volume drops. Then we'll have an idea of what's going to happen with this series. They don't know where to put this series. That's what I'm trying to say. They have no idea. So don't think that the series is going to stick around because it's like not at the bottom of the TOC. It's pretty rare for a first placement to be near the bottom. I've seen it happen. It has happened. But don't worry. I don't think this series is going to last. This chapter was just whatever. I don't know. I can't even say it was like bad. It was just whatever. I don't know. I didn't really feel much of anything. Credit where credit's due. There is one cool panel, or double page spread actually, of that tiger, like, making the shark scared. Like, oh, he's going to eat the shark. It's neat. Probably the first time that this series has made running look interesting, and even then, it still doesn't look that interesting with the actual running motion. Like, I wish they did more. I just wish they did more with the running. More metaphorical stuff like this. This is the first time we've gotten really anything like this. Every other time it's just been basic ass running drawings which have no impact. And even before this double page spread, it still looks like that too. So I don't know. If the series wants to succeed, I think it really needs to step up its game in this department. But I'm not worried about it because I really don't care about this series. And I don't even really want to see it have a comeback because I'm just really tuned out. I don't care about it. Bruh. Ekiden Bros Chapter 9, The New Age. Now this is the TOC placement I expected. Last week I was a little concerned because it was kind of in the middle, but now it's like third to last. So okay, there you go. That's correct. That's where it should be. This series is not going to last. It is just so weird with its pacing, and it feels like it has no point, no story to tell. It's just going through the motions of a sports series, and that's not what you want to be doing. It's another Ekiden Bros chapter. Don't like this series. I think it's boring, kind of a mess, and I don't like the art either. That's pretty much all I got. not a good one. Bruh. Ekiden Bros Chapter 10, Speed versus Speed. Really, man, that's the best you could come up with for a title. That's the most basic shit. You could call any chapter of this series Speed versus Speed. That's the whole point. That is so lame. I have nothing to say about this chapter other than this one page where it is said, "You sure do look cool going so fast." To which I say, if only that were the case. That is all this damn series needs. If they can find a way to make running look cool, this series would be a hell of a lot better and more interesting. But what we have is bland and boring, and the running looks like real life. And that's not what you want. They've tried the visual metaphor thing, and it worked to a degree. It's not incredible, but it looked fine and serviceable. But instead, we just get the most basic, boring running ever. And it's so bland to follow in a manga. You could do this in an anime maybe, and it would look fine, but just drawing people like jogging on a page is not getting me excited. If you remember what I thought about Chapter 1, this is a bummer, Like, this series could have been interesting. I think it had a neat hook. It was pretty endearing, but now it's just not hitting the marks, It doesn't have what it takes. I think this artist needs to go back to the drawing board. This series obviously it's doing very poorly, I think. We don't have volume sales yet, but we do see it here at second to last on the TOC, below Odor of the Flame, who has been placing very low lately. So, you know what? We can thank Ekidembros for keeping Odor of the Flame alive, because at least it's worse than Odor. Bruh. Ekidembros chapter 11. The Ekidembros. Wow, guys, wow. Ugh. So, this begs the question. This new brother character, who, mind you, we were just introduced to last chapter, are these two brothers the reason that this series is called Ekidembros? If so, why is this brother introduced on chapter 10? What is this series? It is so weird. It's so weird. It doesn't know what it's doing at any stage. How did this get in the magazine? Like, I'm not gonna say this is like the new nice prison. Like, I'm not talking about this the same way I would talk about that, but this series is just so uniquely bad. I've never seen as aimless of a series as this. It's just like, it's doing things and it's expecting us to have reactions and to feel emotions towards it for no reason. It's a series that asks the impossible out of its audience, and it's comical to me. Like, what is this? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand what this series is doing. It's just baffling. I can't find more words to say about it other than that. This is just a truly baffling and mind-blowing series. I don't know. It's really just funny at this point. I won't have it for too much longer, though. There's no chance this is making it past chapter 19. This will be axed, no doubt. And you won't see me complaining about it, because I am ready for this to get out of here already. I just think this is trash. Seriously. And in a different way than Nice Prison. Bruh. Ekidembros chapter 12, The Glass Prodigy. Look, guys, I dunk on this series every week, I know, and I'm gonna do it again. I've been complaining a lot about this series and how it draws running. The whole premise of the series is about running, and it is drawn so damn boring. Like, it's just boring to look at. There's nothing exciting happening on screen. So now, look at its latest attempt to make running look exciting. I'm actually laughing my ass off. Not right now. Internally, actually. Whoa, no way. He blew the petals right off those flowers. Okay? What the fuck? I don't give a shit. Who cares? That's not exciting. That doesn't make me be like, what? What? No way. Holy shit. Who's having this reaction to this? Is anybody opening this magazine this week? Any Japanese citizen? Pick up this magazine, flip to the back of the magazine for this series. They get to this page and they're like, holy shit. I don't think so. I really don't think so. This manga is a failure on all levels. What could have been, guys? What could have been? Imagine if we had a good cross-country track running manga running in Shonen Jump. Imagine the world we'd live in. Damn shame. Do better. Bruh. Ekidembros chapter 13, I think it's called The One to Beat. They do this weird, they delay the title or whatever, trying to be artsy. It sucks. This series is comical at this point. Seriously, they make running look so hilariously boring. It's just, what am I reading? Like, who's getting anything out of this? It's just so boring to look at. I can't get invested in this. Like, yeah, art isn't always the biggest factor in manga and like loving it and enjoying it. Like, look at like One Punch Man, the webcomic. Art is ass, but it's charming. This is just ass. There's nothing charming about it. Oh my god, this manga frustrates me so much. It could have been really cool, but it's certainly not. What a shame. God damn, dude. Once the series gets axed, Daiki no here really needs to just take a step back and reevaluate a lot of things about their art and manga creation skills in general, I think. Bruh. Agustin Bros, Chapter 14, Raging Flames. What do you want me to say, guys? It's same shit as always. At least there's like a story being told here between this and the last chapter, but it's not a good one. So, yep. And we have another embarrassing attempt at a double-page spread to depict running in an exciting way. I just can't believe it, man. What do you... Whoa. Daiki no, right? That's his name? Yep, Daiki no. What are you thinking, man? What is this? What is this? What are you thinking? I want to gaze into your mind and see what you're thinking. Like, are you thinking this is badass? It's not. It barely even looks like anything's happening. I the only thing I can really convey is just the fact that there's facial expressions on the characters. That's what's making me understand that anything is even happening on this page. You know, like I just, ugh. The series is rough, guys. Don't have to deal with it for much longer, but it'll be a painful last few weeks here. I guess like 4 weeks left, maybe 5. Ooh, that's a lot. I don't want to read 5 or 4 more chapters of this. Sheesh. It's almost over. Damn, just rough. Bruh. Agustin Bros, Chapter 15, Keep His Place. Credit where credit's due. I guess this wasn't a terrible chapter by any means. It was still not great, but I like, you do feel the win, you know, like it feels good, but it's still just not visually interesting. I got all the same shit. You've heard it a million times. But, you know, this wasn't bad. I kind of liked like the victory moment, but yeah, overall just same kind of shit. I'm still not liking this series whatsoever, but I can definitely feel it getting near its conclusion as well. It's not going to be here much longer. I mean, we got like 3 chapters left at max, so ride it out, I suppose. If it can at least be if the last chapters can at least be as decent as this one was, at least it won't be a miserable experience. But it's not really, there's no use in like rooting for the series at this point, like seeing it, hoping it improves and, you know, cheering it on, because I mean, it's done. It doesn't really matter what it does at this point. It's getting out of here. But I can at least see some improvements here. Very minuscule ones, but they're there. There's an effort, just not enough to win me over. Bruh. Agustin Bros, Chapter 16, Tracks Worn by Wishes. Okay, yeah, this is definitely ending next week. So we're going to get 2 series that are going to end at Chapter 17. Fascinating. I'm going to talk about this more in the Kaitagami segment. Please watch the Kaitagami segment. I'm going to have a lot to say, but I don't know, this chapter was whatever. It wasn't bad. Honestly, I thought it was fine, like decent emotional core to it, but too little too late, man. That's the moral of the story here. 1 more week. Let's see what it can do. Bruh. Agustin Bros' final chapter, The View from the Other Side. Well, there you have it. It's gone. Gone like the wind. You know, technically, this series like started the channel. This was the first episode of Shonen Jump coverage I did was when this series debuted. Can you believe that? 17 weeks ago. Wow, what a journey. And I had high hopes for it back then. The thumbnail and title, I was even like, holy shit, will this be the next big hit? By the way, that thumbnail looks like shit now. I look back at that and I hate it. Why did I use so much outer glow? God, that looked awful. Never let me do that again. That was terrible. Anyways, it's, you know, this series is monumental to some degree to the channel, because it really is. It started everything. And here we are at the end. The finish line, right, guys? It's thematic, because running. And it ends the same way it began, with the most boring depiction of running you can possibly do. Look at this. This might even be the worst example in the whole series so far. This is so boring to look at. I've just never seen a series turn around this quickly to where literally Chapter 2, if you go back to my episode where I talk about Chapter 2 of this series, I immediately flipped on it. I was already like, oh my god, this shit sucks. This is awful. And it never bounced back from that. It just kept getting worse, or at least like, I guess sometimes it get like slightly better, but not enough to write home about. This series was really bad, guys. It was just total amateur hour stuff. I couldn't latch on to any characters. The art was not very good. I hesitate to say bad. I hate to call artists bad, but shit, man, this was close. If you're gonna write a series about running, at least draw running in an exciting way. That's the bare minimum. But no, it looked like dog shit. That's the story of Ekiden Bros. It's over, guys. We never have to talk about it again, and I certainly won't, because I have nothing to say about it. I guess I can at least thank it for kickstarting the channel, but I mean, if I just started a week later, I wouldn't even have to say that about it. This is just a completely nothing series that I am never going to think about again beyond today. Farewell, Ekiden Bros. You will not be missed. Bruh. Ekiden Bros. You know, this is another absolutely garbage series that ran this year. It had an okay first chapter, but then immediately chapter 2 hit, and I'm like, nope, done here. You can see it. This is the only series so far that I've covered. Is that true? That's not true at all. Wait, is it true that I've covered from chapter 1? Katagami as well, right? No, I just missed the debut of Katagami. Yeah, this is the only series so far I've talked about that I covered from chapter 1 to being axed. Trash. Seriously, you can go back and look. Chapter 1, I was like, all right, okay, let's see how it goes. Chapter 2, garbage, terrible, horrible, awful. This series was a huge dud. Nothing good to say about it, really. I thought it was total trash. Very few moments that even made me like raise an eyebrow. Seriously, it just... Nothing there. Nothing there. Empty series. Lifeless. Oh, Ekiden Bros. What a series you're. I think in terms of my reviews, this is one of the funnier series I've covered, because the instant switch up on this one is something that, and actually this is what prompted the comment, the original comment that prompted me to do this style of video to begin with. I was talking about Ekiden Bros and this switch up I do, where I think it's after like chapter 1 or 2, the switch just flips and I'm like, oh, nope, this series sucks. I hate it so badly. It's just, I never let go of that hatred the whole way through. I was pretty positive on it for the most part on chapter 1, but then it just dive bombed, bro. It was awful. In memory, because I will tell you now, I did not reread it. And I will never reread it for as long as I live. This was one of the most boring manga of all time, especially a sports series. The presentation was awful. The art and posing was abysmal. It very rarely did anything remotely cool or interesting, especially for something about running. You could do so many things to make running look interesting, but instead they just draw normal running for 17 chapters. And 17 chapters, man, oh my god. They got this shit out of here. They were not having it. U19 didn't even make it to 18. This was really U19. I think I probably said this before. I don't know. Who cares? I'll repeat myself till the end of time. This series was garbage. Truly garbage. I don't remember any of the characters' names. Nobunaga, I think, was the main character's name. I think? Like last name at least. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't care. And I can say that comfortably because I don't think anybody will get mad at me for forgetting the main character's name. This was published in an era, which is still going on now, where Shonen Jump just cannot get a sports series to land. And this was just another addition to the collection, man. It's just so damn rough to read, to look at. Everything about it is just so amateur hour. I don't know, man. Maybe they can come back strong one day, but that is not anytime soon. They really gotta hone their craft and come up with a unique idea because, like, dude, a track manga could be really cool. I don't expect them to try track again or cross country. This was cross country, I think. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Same thing. It's not the same thing, I know. But hey, in the hands of this mangaka, they might as well be the same thing because you can't tell a damn difference. Everybody runs the same way. Everything looks the same. The character designs suck. It was just rough. Very, very rough. In reflection, I truly have nothing more to say about it. It is just one of the most boring sports series I have ever had the displeasure of reading. It's not the worst thing I have covered or read, period, by any means, but it's not good. I can tell you that. And I will not remember it fondly. I'm sorry to say. Sorry to all of the hundreds of thousands of Akiden Bros fans. I really let you down. Thanks for watching this compilation. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on Akiden Bros. I would love to hear any updated thoughts that you guys have if you read it back when it was being published. What do you think of it now? Do you remember anything about it? I don't. Maybe you do though. Let me know. And remember, you can also become a channel member at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see what tier works best for you. You can get things like emotes, early access to new videos, exclusive monthly videos, your name in the credits, and if you join at the highest tier, you'll get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmic 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, Dan, and The World's Worst. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.